Okay, so this is products. So if you don't use products, you're in the wrong video. If you don't use products, great, good for you. Awesome, no problem. Some people use products, some don't. I'm going to show you what I do use. So, I have crystal hair in my nose. Yeah, you're a good girl. Okay, first thing I do, dry shampoo, or chalk, or the Panagenics texture crystals, anything that is going to give them texture. The other good one is the Canine Competition Texture It. It's quite nice too if you have a really soft dog or really soft legs, which seems to happen a lot in the standards. But she has good legs. I like her legs. So we take our dry shampoo, we stand our puppy dog up, give him a bit of a spritz. I know it's cold. Oh, it's cold. Oh my goodness. I hold their leg after just because it is cold. On the back leg, we're only doing from the hock down. Yes, there's going to be white powder everywhere. It's fine. We will blow it off. Okay. Alrighty. So now what we do is we take our mini dryer or our high velocity dryer set to low, and I'm going to blow the excess off her legs. My mini dryer does not want to go on full speed today, so forget that. We will do this guy here. This is my big dryer. Set to low. Well, you might say you just put all that effort putting it in and then you just blew it up. Well, the idea is that a small amount stays inside, creates texture, and allows me to volumize her legs. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my hairspray. I use the Arteriopodium, the red one, which is the dry hold, because this one was meant, it is meant for terriers. The black one is very, very, very sticky. I wouldn't recommend it. So the red one is the way to go if you're going to use them. Give it a good shake. And I'm going to spray again from the elbow down, front and back. And I generally work one at a time on my legs, sometimes two at a time. But I gently rub all the hairspray in, make sure all the hair is coated. Yeah, because you're so pretty. Now we're doing this next weekend, so you better get used to it, hey? Okay, now that that is all rubbed in, what I do is I take a slicker brush or a boar brush and I comb it all up. Then, rather than just combing it up, I comb it out because I want the hair to stand up and out. Stop, please. Stop. Crystal, I mean, excuse me. Off. Stops being a oof. Now you can use your comb or your slicker or a boar brush. I find the slicker does a really good job of getting it up and out, and then the comb does a really nice job of shaping. So the shape you're going for with these guys are little pillars. Now I actually don't have a ton of hairspray on here, so I'm going to add some. Let it dry a little bit, and then shape it back to what I want. So now all dogs have a cowlick on the back of their leg, their front legs, and that is where we're going to comb down rather than up, because down will allow all the hair to go against the grain and fluff it out. Crystal, you're so silly with your legs. Okay. Now this is where I'm normally, if I'm using a ringside table, I'm normally on the floor at eye level, making sure her feet and legs look beautiful and as fluffed out as I can get them. and it does take some finagling. So because I took so long with this leg, I will redo this leg. Respray it, I mean. And now, that's more or less what I'm going for. Of course, you're right in a shadow. You can see, nice and fuzzy. I will, when I'm finished all four, I will do a close-up of her and show you what products I used where so you can get a better view. So don't worry if you can't see and you're like, oh my god, I can't see. I'll show you in a minute. So that leg's been all sprayed up. Perfect, that's exactly what I want. Set it. Now don't touch it. Leave it. Don't rub anything in, anything like that. Don't touch it. Okay, now this leg, I'm going to brush it all up, except for that cowlick, which I'm going to brush down. All the foot hair goes up. Still being silly. And what the idea behind this is to just show more bone and to make her legs look nice and straight from every angle. Okay, that's actually not bad. I don't actually think I need to respray this. At least not to build anything. Okay, good. So it's just a lot of finicking around with your comb. And you know what, if you don't want to do this and you think your dog has plenty of bone and you really don't want to use products, that's fine, don't do it. It's not like an old English sheepdog where you have to like make sure you're using, or a poodle where you have to like, that dog has to be sprayed up to the nines. These guys can be totally natural if you want them to be, and they do win. My mentor shows her dogs almost totally natural and she wins all the time. So. Now this one, I can see these are too long here, so I am going to take my thinners and I am going to trim that back just so that it's level. Stop, please. Just so that it is level with the back of the foot. So this little hair. And I'm using thinners while I'm doing this because we don't want, you know, I'm trying to think of a breed. We don't want old English sheepdog column legs. That's like that looks scissored to the nines. We don't want that. We want natural looking dogs. That is a stubborn little hair. Okay. You can stand. You're a young lady. You got this. Okay, and then respray. And I'm gonna just touch it up a little bit. That's more or less what I'm going for. Okay, so front legs are done. Let's do this. I'll just do one back leg to show you just because she's getting annoyed with me. If we were at a show, I would have had this done by now. Like, oh, worst mommy ever, hey? Okay, stop. She's super finicky with her back legs. I'm sorry if you see lots of like standing. Or pulling away, I guess. So again, I'm just going to take my hairspray, make sure all the hairs are coated. Okay. Now all the hairs are coated. Now back legs, I definitely prefer my slicker. Just because there's no angles to get stuck on. We're still weenie, we're being silly. Inside of the back legs too. Has to be all the way around the back legs unless you're fixing for something. If you're corrective grooming, then you know your dog's conformation better than I do. But because she has nice back legs, all the way around. Make sure that's up. Not enough spray. Perfect. I am I'm going to smooth this down a little bit, and you can see my nice hole there. Super. That was a mistake. Okay, perfect. I will have to do the other back leg. Actually, no, we won't. We'll just leave that. Okay, so that's what I want for the back leg. Nice and fuzzy. Now, what I will do with my hairspray, I know a lot of people use clear mascara, which I like, but if it's not tested on animals, I generally don't like using it around their eyes. That's just personal preference. But I know people that have been doing it for many, many years and have had no problems. So if that's what you want to do, you go ahead. But what I do is I take hairspray, put it in my hand, quickly wipe it together, and then I'm just going to quickly do her eyebrows forward and then really quickly run the rest of her head back, which will be pretty fast because you don't want the hairspray to dry while you're doing it. Now, if you have a good dog that's not jumpy, you can do that, but you risk it getting in their eyes, so just use caution. Okay, and you don't want little floofs everywhere. We want nice, beautiful brows. When you're combing them down, don't go down over the eyes, go out. Still at that angle level with the nose, but we're not going straight down, we're going down and out. Now you can see her eye whiskers there. I am going to trim those. They stick out on that eyebrow, but not on this one for some reason. Now this little bit, I'm going to pull that because that is not eyebrow hair. Okay, beautiful. It is a flexible, well, it's a decent hold, it's not crazy. So it's not gonna like cement their brows in place, but it will help, especially with brows like Crystal's that like to just go straight up like rainbows. Now if you do get product on their head, like hairspray on their head, you can use just a dry shampoo. Sorry, not a dry shampoo, a waterless shampoo. So that would be something like Show Off or something like that. Pro Rinse, and you can just get rid of the hairspray residue on their head. And then I do see a few hairs here that I'm going to take off. Okay, perfect. Alright, and that is more or less what I'm going for, but you can't see the other back legs. Okay, good. And eyebrows look nice. Final step is if she is feeling too soft, I will take Roughy Tuffy, the Texture It, or actually those are normally the two I use. This one is a little bit smelly, so I wouldn't use it right before the ring, but you can. Then, once that's all done, I brush her down, whole body, down, and then I take Artero's Flash. This is more or less a shine spray, however, it's not oily or greasy. Not on this coat anyways. Boar brush, but now I'm using my hand. I use a boar brush to rub it in, and it just creates a beautiful finish on her coat. I love the finish it creates. Okay, so now I'm going to take you down, and I'm going to show you exactly what I like my Dachsies to look like before they go into the ring.